let's just say in a fantasy utopian world, Mark Zuckerberg didn't make Facebook. Let's say instead of stealing the idea from a couple of kids in college, he instead went to a different college and became a doctor or a pharmacist or an engineer or whatever. He just never ever touched a computer or knew anything about social platforms in his life. There would still be a Facebook today. Now, my philosophy on this changed big time in these last couple of weeks. I realized that these social platforms, all of the negative things that we see through technology, are inevitable creations. They were going to happen regardless, whether if it was Mark Zuckerberg or somebody else from across the world, it was going to get created. The only difference is that it probably wouldn't have been called Facebook, maybe something else. Now, it's still a bad thing and it's still horrible, but I look at this in more of a calming way, knowing that it was going to happen regardless. Even though, yeah, it technically is his fault, but if it wasn't his fault, it was going to be somebody else's fault. The problem would always be there. It was just a part of the timeline, and now we're living in that timeline. That's it. That's the way that I see it these days. And when Mark Zuckerberg starts talking about the Metaverse, or they changed the name of Facebook to Meta, Metaverse is basically like the universe inside of technology where you put on the VR goggles and you can explore in the real meta world. Not through looking at a phone screen and scrolling or swiping left and right with your hands, but actually being there and waving hi to people and interacting with the world around you. That's the metaverse. So everyone seems to be tripped out about this. Like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. AI, oh my God, take over the planet. And so you're not wrong, but you're also not right. The metaverse is going to happen regardless. It's just a part of the timeline that we're living in. It's going to happen guaranteed. But the fact that it's happening on behalf of Mark Zuckerberg, that's the problem, right? I mean, I personally think that moving forward with technology and then not having to pick up your phone out of your pocket while your friend's talking to you and then look at a text and then read it and then type back with your thumbs and then send it, put your phone back in your pocket, it's just not cohesive enough. It's not that perfect. But eventually, it's going to be so that instead of FaceTiming your friend and holding up a phone with your right arm, right, and then like holding up your phone and looking at your friend and then pressing end call after it's done, instead you can just tap your glasses, say, talk to Alex, and then a 3D model of him will pull up. It'll ring his phone or it'll ring his AR glasses, and then you'll be able to talk to each other as if you were in the same room. There'll just be a 3D model of your friend. Literally right in front of your face. You can turn around, look at them in like 3D, and like that's your actual friend standing right in front of you. It sounds scary when I explain it, but it's not that bad in my opinion. It's going to happen. We just have to really be prepared for it. Now, it sounds cool to some, it sounds scary to some. The only part that I'm genuinely worried about is that the people pioneering it, the people that are entirely behind it, are the evil, greedy data collectors that are taking our private data and using it against us and then trying to keep us as addicted to their platforms as possible so they can milk as much dollars off of our lives as possible while still feeding us the same lie that it's to connect us, it's to make our lives better, it's for the better quality of life, which is obviously not the case. And that's exactly what happened. Facebook literally made Meta, or they're going to be the pioneers that are pushing forth, going all out, making almost no profit on their products at first, just so that they can make them first and like everyone can have their products at first. Now, this, in my opinion, is a really, really big issue. The metaverse isn't bad. Mark Zuckerberg being behind it is. Do you know how much data is currently being collected on you? Every single app that you use, you being here on this part of the video, watching the entirety of the video until this part, YouTube knows, like you've been watching this video for what is it, like 4 minutes, 3, 4, 5 minutes so far? You must really like iamLucid's channel. If you press the like button and you scroll down to the comments and you write a comment and then you go back and you keep on watching the video in landscape mode, that must mean that you're really intrigued in what iamLucid is saying. So they're literally constantly collecting every single piece of data on you that they can. If they can collect it, they will collect it. Why not? It's tax-free. They can do it as much as they want and it can only benefit them. So they are. On social media, if you stop to look at a girl's post that you have a crush on in school, you look at the post for 80% longer than you look at any other post. Facebook knows Alex likes this girl. He has a crush on her. Let's start to show him her profile more often, or girls that look like her, so he can keep on scrolling and keep on feeling lust over these females, which is exactly what they do, and it's exactly what happens. Even if you press on the little 3 dots that say do not recommend this post, they don't give a dude. They don't care if you don't want them to recommend the post. They know that if they keep on showing you these posts, whether it's good for your mental health or not, they're going to show it to you because it keeps you on the app longer. Point blank, it's that simple. So knowing that we have this company, the company, in my opinion, that has almost little to no ethic or moral at all, that cares at the very least about humanity itself and bringing people together, connecting people.
Our mission remains the same. It's still about bringing people together. Starting with the most important experience of all, connecting with people.
And instead pulling them further apart, but then profiting when they speak to each other by keeping them on the app longer. I feel like there's no ethic and moral behind this. And for us to move forward with this type of technology, which is going to happen whether you like it or not, right? The metaverse will come whether you like it or not. Everyone's going to have the AR glasses where they can tap it and then enter a 3D world where they can start drawing in 3D and then pick up the object and throw it across the field, right? This is going to happen. It's going to happen. The issue is that Mark Zuckerberg is behind it. If they can collect that much data off you, just by you holding a little piece of technology, just by you holding a little phone, they can collect infinite amounts of data just from this little device. Imagine what they can collect when they have you wearing a AR or VR headset or glasses every single day. They can use finger tracking, then now tell the size of your hands, and then recommend you gloves based exactly on the size of your hands, or check how active you are while you're playing tennis in VR, or how many friends you have by how many phone calls you make every single day. Now, we thought there was an infinite amount of data they can collect from here. There's going to be beyond infinite if they have us wrapped under their finger in VR and AR. They can tell the stuff that we do. They can tell how fast we turn our necks. They can tell how tall we are. They can tell literally everything about our physical body. Now it's not how fast we can swipe our thumb and look at something. Now it's going to be where our eyes are looking, tracking our eye behavior, which is, it's going to get to that point. If we smile when we see something, instead of just taking a guess whether we like it or not, they're going to have facial tracking, eye tracking. And why do they do it, you might say? So that when you're talking to your friends, it can seem genuine. Hey, man, I'm so happy to see you. Look, I'm smiling. Look, I'm looking to the right and now to the left. But in reality, the amount of data that can be collected off of this is copious. It is unbelievable. It's going to be infinite. And it can really take us to a horrible future. It really kind of does come down to the people in power where, as far as making laws happens. And it just seems that they don't really do too much. I mean, they do question mark, but it seems like nothing really comes out of it after that. So Metaverse is good. Facebook is not good. That's my take on this. VR is cool. AR is cool. It's going to be an awesome future only if we can get it down right the first time. And unless these big companies start selling us really, really cheap products that we should all buy, we end up paying for it with us. If you don't pay for the product, you are the product. Thank you for watching this video. Stay dreaming. Stay lucid. I'm out. Peace.